Namaste and hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Hattrick Bytes. Have you ever wondered which is the right form of dance for you? Is it Indian classical or is it contemporary dance? Let's ask an expert. Today we have Manas with us, who is not only a passionate dancer but also an instructor and now runs his own dance school and company called Hashtag to Dance. Please welcome Manas. Hi Manas.
Hi Juhi, how are you doing?
I'm good. Welcome to Hattrick Bytes.
Thank you. Thank you. Very happy to be here.
So, how have these changing times been for you? And dancing is such an interesting profession, and it's always been one of my favorite because I love dancing myself. So, how has it been for you all these months?
Well, for the past 3 months, to tell you the truth, it has been 3 to 4 months actually. It has been quite hectic. Lockdown has taken a toll on all of us. But you know what? In these trying times, I think the best that we can do is try and find opportunities to use them because every problem I see it as an opportunity.
So,
So
Manas, what has your dance journey been like? Have you always been interested in dance? Tell us that changing moment in your life, so that other people who want to who want to get some inspiration to be a dancer. What is it like?
Well, to tell you the truth, it started off as a kid, seeking attention. And the more I started doing it, the more I started enjoying it. So it was something that I felt like as if I just had fun doing. So I had a lot of joy while dancing. I actually finished my engineering and then I started dancing professionally.
Wow, that's really great, because it's so important to follow your own passion. And in today's world, a lot of people are realizing that, they're leaving their high paying jobs and getting to pursue what they want to do and they're going to earn out of it. So it becomes really nice because once you are following your passion, then nothing seems like work. Uh,
I say that to my students as well when I teach these days. I say that if your passion becomes your career, or if doing, then the work doesn't seem like work anymore. You're just having fun. You're getting paid for it. So,
And
um,
you
so
started with the Indian classical traditional dance, or did you just danced, like any form? So, is it
I,
important to start with an Indian classical dance?
I did not start with an Indian classical dance, but now I know better that if you start with anything classical or even Western classical, it is always gonna be a beneficial thing for you because, like if someone wants to get into Bollywood, if that person is trained in, let's say, Bharatanatyam, Kathak, Kuchipudi, all of these are Indian classical forms.
Yeah.
So, Bollywood sort of derives from all of these styles. Whereas just like that, ballet is the classical form in the Western world, and all of these other forms are derived from ballet.
Yes.
To honestly tell you the truth, like if you ask me, like if I've done my research in terms of what dancing is, and in India, Bharatanatyam had highlights like ballet did. It had extensions. It had different levels of movement, and there are a lot of things that are derived into jazz from Bharatanatyam.
Okay.
So yeah, like if I basically started off watching videos on YouTube and learning anything off it, and
Yeah.
then I ended up injuring myself.
Okay.
So that's when I learned that I'm not supposed to do flips and tricks without actually training myself.
Yes.
And then I started doing ballet.
Yeah.
And
And dance is really fun, Ultimately, dance is supposed to be so much fun, I've always believed in just letting yourself go and dance. So dance is just so enjoyable. So if you just use the little bit of right techniques and you enjoy it, then you're dancing. I guess
yes,
that's
absolutely,
true, right?
absolutely, that is so right.
So coming to the kind of dances, what kind of dance forms do you usually teach? Because everyone has a specific dance form they like to focus on. And today there are so many different dance forms. So would you like to tell us a little bit about that?
Definitely. So I'm personally more connected, or I'm more driven towards modern contemporary and contemporary. To be able to use gravity, modern contemporary is also the weight of your body and gravity and using fluidity. So I'm more, driven towards that. But I still will not say that I've restricted myself to just modern contemporary, because I do teach ballet, I do teach jazz, I do teach hip hop, I do learn heels. Dancing gives me happiness, and why should I restrict that? So yeah.
Absolutely. And guys, see, dance is happiness. And in our Hattrick Break, which is going to come up soon, Manas is going to show us some really, really fun routine. And he's going to just give a nice dance sequence which you can dance along with us. So that's going to come up soon. So stay tuned for that. Today, a lot of people they want to learn dance and they want to do it seriously, but at the same time, what is important? There is no end to learning. So is there some basic dance forms that one must know?
What we do especially in hashtag, is we start off by teaching them the basics, which means irrespective of if you're coordinated or not, knowing the basics is super important if you don't know it yet. In the beginning of class, if you understand how to coordinate your hands and legs and how to coordinate a particular isolation or the basic moves that are even used in the highest level of dancing. So if we understand that, then it becomes easier for us to understand almost every other form. So these coordination exercises are taught in ballet and jazz.
Okay.
So in hip hop, it is something that is very groovy, and it derives from Africa as well. So it is very groovy. It does not have a particular training module yet.
Okay. Okay.
But now there are teachers who have actually gone ahead and created a module for that. And even that module has elements of jazz and ballet in it. So if you learn jazz or ballet, then it is an umbrella that is going to teach you a lot of coordination. But if you have a natural coordination in your body, natural groove in your body already, then you don't have to worry about learning hip hop as such without learning jazz.
Take time, because Bollywood to fusion, there's so many dance forms. So even if you have that coordination in your body and your movements are good, but it is still important to specialize in one. Don't you think so?
Yes, I think so. It's important. See, if you're taking it as a hobby, then I don't think it is important to specialize it, as long as you're having fun. If dancing is fun for you, if you want to take it up as a hobby, then please go ahead and dance whatever style you would like to dance in. Try everything, okay? But if let's say you want to take up dancing as a profession, even in India, if you go to a job, they first ask you if you were trained, what have you trained in, and what are the things that you can know. So dancing is not just about dancing anymore. It is also about acting. It's also about singing. It's also about performing arts. So it's all about being an amalgamation, because if you're on stage, the choreographers or the producers these days, they're only gonna look at how many things can I use him, or how many things can I use her. So if that person is restricted and specialized in one particular thing, good. He's gonna get a contemporary job all the time. If there is a hip hop dancer who also knows contemporary and also knows ballet and also knows jazz and also knows heels, also knows funk, also knows voguing, so then I'm gonna keep this person's number rather than the other person.
Absolutely, a multiple specialization is always better. Every year there is so much change in the trends, and dance has become more like a fashion for a lot of people. And do you think we're getting too influenced by the West?
Absolutely, this is such an important thing, and I'm so glad that you brought it up. We have become so influenced by the West that we forget that today in New York, in Starbucks, $2.5 is spent by everybody there to buy haldi and doodh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So this is our grandma's technique to reduce inflammation. This is our land of yoga. And funnily enough, we just understood that jazz uses so much of yoga,
Yes.
and they call it jazz, but it is actually yoga.
Yeah, the
You know,
roots are Indian, finally all this is derived from our very traditional forms.
I don't know if I'm deviating from dance, but I think it is important because we have a lot to offer as Indians. And we have one of the most important things is yoga. When you go abroad and you ask them, okay, let's say, okay, you do the Surya Namaskar. And the first thing that we do in jazz is like the Surya Namaskar. So we roll down, we go down, we do a plie, we roll up again, and then we look up into a high arch. So when we're doing that, it's almost derived from yoga. Okay, so yes, there are different ways of doing it. But now, if you go ask them why is Surya Namaskar supposed to be done early in the morning,
Yeah.
so if you ask anybody why at that time, people don't know, and then when you try and explain or connect science to it, there is so much science in it. Apparently, like the UV rays are the minimum early in the morning. So when you basically use breath and you do the Surya Namaskar, then vitamin D3 absorption in your body is the highest,
Yes.
rather than when you do it any other time.
Yeah.
So that is the reason.
True. You actually, these everything has a logic. You're really right
Yeah.
when you say that even Surya Namaskar, there's a logic behind it, why it should be done at sunrise and early morning because of the vitamin D absorption. Absolutely. And these basic things, if followed, are the basic to your dance also. Now, guys, it's talking about all this, I'm feeling really excited to do the routine, the fun routine with Manas. So let's start the Hattrick Break.
Welcome to the Hattrick Bytes Break. So in this break, I'm going to teach you very quickly a few things that we can do at home while we're sitting. We can easily learn a few moves in dance that can actually almost get your blood pumping and get a little bit of workout done. All right. Okay. Now we're going to go over to the routine. All right. So the first thing I want you to do is remember that before we start dancing, we're going to freeze 3 times. All right. Now our freeze can be anything. Freeze is basically just to stop. That's a freeze. Okay. So now, whatever you want, you can put your hands up high, you can get your hands here, you can hold your head, do whatever you want. So now Jilman is going to show us 3 freezes that she likes. Ready? 6, 7, you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get ready. 6, 7, 8. That's it. Okay, so 2 counts of 8. The first count on 1 you freeze, on 5 you freeze, and on 1 you freeze, and then you're ready to go for the routine. Okay, so we're gonna freeze 3 times in 2 counts of 8 on 1, 5, and 1. Okay, let's try that again. 5, 6, 7, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Beautiful. Okay, now when we're gonna start our routine, we're gonna come back to first parallel. So we're gonna come back here with our feet together, and maybe you can isolate a little bit with your right leg or your left leg. Preferably, I want it to be the right leg. From there, you're gonna go throwing your hands up high in the air, stepping out with your right leg to go 1. That's nice. And please smile at the same time. Now put your hands down. Now you're gonna do something in jazz which is called a step ball change. So you're gonna step with your right leg to the back. You go onto the ball of your foot and you change back with your right. That's it. Now you're going to step with your left and throw your hands out again. 1. You drop it down on 2. Then you do a step ball change with your left leg to go step, ball, change. That's it. We're going to go 6, 7, and step out on 1. You're going to hit your shoulders on 2 and You're going to spot on 3 and spot back on 9. Then you're going to hit your chest on 4. That's it. Let's try that again. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now you're going to step with the back leg, which is your left leg, across. This is a cross ball change in jazz. So you're going to go cross, go onto the ball of your foot, and change. That's it. Okay, can you see that Jilwal is constantly putting your hands on her hips? Now, these particular area in jazz is called the jazz pocket. So you want to not let your hands loose out like that. You want to keep it on your jazz pocket every time you dance. And there is a sense of spiral. So I want to see there or maybe there, but I don't want it to be straight. Okay, so jazz is never straight. Remember that. Jazz is never straight. Let's do that again. One time. 5, 6, 7, and you go. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Then you're going to kick with your right leg to go 7 and 8. Beautiful. Let's do the routine. You guys ready? Okay, I hope I remember. If you don't remember, just improvise. It's fine. You still have to have some fun. Okay?
Now, getting back to our conversation, Manas, I think that it is very important to use dance therapy at some point and understand dance therapy also. So what do you have to say about that? There's a lot of talk of dance therapy now. What is it? And can you just give us a little insight into it?
When there is a session of dance therapy, the person who's certified therapist basically plays music, and it does not have to be any particular way of doing it. That person could ask you to improvise. That person could give you a few basic steps to move, and to be able to assess or to be able to see your psychoanalysis, to be able to figure out exactly if you're going through something. So they diagnose you for a particular, psychoanalysis, and it is used as a tool to be able to get you out of it. A lot of my students, after 2 years, they came to me and they said, Manas, you know what, when I used to do your classes, modern contemporary classes, and when you used to ask us to improvise, that was the best time we've had. And at that time I was suffering with depression, and I was going through anxiety, and that really helped me to get out of it. I had no idea that I was doing that or helping them in any other way. So dance therapy is a tool used by different therapists.
It's very interesting. I got to learn so much myself in the discussion today. And huh?
I tend to speak a lot sometimes.
No, I think I got to learn so much, and I'm going to end with my best part of the interview, which is going to be the rapid fire round, where you have to answer in one word. So there are just few questions I'm going to ask you, and you should tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay, so trained or talented dancing?
Trained.
Classical or contemporary?
Contemporary.
Western or Indian influence?
Both.
Okay. Who is your inspiration? One person who would be your inspiration?
My dad.
Okay. One thing you dislike about dance? So it's a tricky question, but I need you to be honest.
That the whole world doesn't dance with me.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. One thing you love about what you do?
I think it's just the people, the people that I am with. I've always been lucky to have a great association. Ever since when I was a kid, like my dad has been the greatest inspiration to me, like I said, and course, even the people that I'm with right now, like I'm working with 4 other women. The amount of sensitivity and the amount of love that they have in terms of just for anyone, it does not have to be just their family. And the amount of sensitivity and the kind of kindness that they show. And these are strong women that I'm working with.
Nice.
So they stand for what they believe in, and which I love about them. And that's why I think I love the people around me.
That was really interesting, Manas, and I really, really enjoyed the interview with you today. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much
much.
for being here with us on Hattrick Bytes, and I really, really
I'm Louis, and thank you Hattrick Bytes for having me as well. It was a lot of fun.
So now we know the dance form is not important, but your passion for dance is. So our simple advice is keep dancing. For more insightful insight stories like these, stay tuned with us on Hattrick Bytes. This is Juhi Khanna signing off.